Who is this ghastly man?
Your one and only favorite Muppet. Hello, Boomerizzles. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day. It's fun. I'm doing a bunch of reactions today, scheduling them throughout this week. But now we're getting into one of my favorites, Would I Lie to You? I love doing these reactions. This one has Bob Mortimer. It's called the Cockroach King, which I don't know what that means. But over a year ago, I did that reaction, the Mortimerian Tales reaction in 2 parts, but it was like, over an hour worth of watching Bob Mortimer. And I don't think I've done Bob Mortimer since. So this may have been one of the clips in that compilation that I've seen before, but for the life of me, I can't remember much of any of the tales that Bob Mortimer told. But I do know this, with Bob Mortimer, the chances are, even if it is completely outrageous, chances are it's true. Because I could not believe how many of those were true that he told. So, before we even start the video, I'm going to guess it's true. But there's only one way to find out. Remember to like, subscribe. Oops, excuse me. Oh, that was weird. Remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And let's see if Bob Mortimer is lying on What I Lied to You. Here we go.
My first taste of fame was when the local newspaper dubbed me the Cockroach King.
Because it's Bob Mortimer, it may be true. So I'm going to go with true so far. It's not as outlandish as some of the other things that he said were true, so.
What was the newspaper?
My local. It was called the South London Press.
So, are you from South London?
I was in the lead-up to the headline, The Cockroach King.
Why were you in the public eye doing what?
I was a solicitor at the time, and I sued the local authority.
Yeah, see, this is why I can never tell with Bob Mortimer, because he's saying all these things. And I remember even when I did the Mortimerian Tales reaction, like, he said some things where you're like, oh, he just gave it away. He's not telling the truth. And then it turns out to be true, so I don't know what to think, man. But let's continue.
Because of cockroach infestations in the council houses. Yes!
Okay, rewind a little bit.
Because of cockroach infestations
That's why you sued, okay.
in the council houses. Yes! That's what I did.
And of course, it was that kind of style in court that won the day.
We settled outside of court, actually. But I had to change the names because these are real legal proceedings that we're talking about.
Right. Well, why does the fact that it's real legal proceedings mean you have to change the names?
Because I don't think it's fair to say that, let's say she's called Barbara Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Lived in the horror of cockroach infestation.
Were you representing Barbara Lighthouse?
I was, yes.
She'd engaged your services?
She's engaged my services. I visited her property.
Must have been ages to get to the top.
There were Egyptian cockroaches. So I had an idea.
Egyptian?
Right? I said, I bet this is bad for your mental health, living with cockroaches. And I took them to the magistrate's court on a private criminal prosecution under the Public Health Act.
Why are you counting every letter in the same?
You know what? See, I don't know what to think of Bob. Like, in the beginning, he was kind of very vague, and now he's being very specific. It's as if he's, like, remembering all the details as he goes along. So now it makes me think it's not only true, but very true. You know?
Work it out, Mr. Charger.
You mentioned Egyptian.
The Egyptian cockroach,
How
yeah.
many? I wasn't aware there were different types.
They live in the concrete, and they can actually live off the concrete that the buildings are made of.
So, Bob, hold
Eat
it.
concrete.
Yep.
Bob, they got some hard cockroaches. They live in the concrete.
They nip out to go behind the fridge or the cooker, or to turn the light out.
What were the size of these Egyptian cockroaches?
They're long and thin, slip right in.
It's like an advert for Egyptian cockroaches. They're long and thin and slip right in. Get yours today.
That's my profile on Tinder.
It is odd the Cockroach King would suggest a champion of the cockroach rather than an opponent.
Or
of the
in fact,
cockroach.
their leader?
Yes.
Did you lead the cockroaches away like the Pied Piper?
No, I didn't. What happened is I got an expert from the University of Cambridge called Broccoli High Kicks. Again, I've changed his name. His brief from me was, can you in any way argue that this is contrary to public health? He confirmed it, went to court. It's all coming ever so clear now. We went to court, yeah? Ronnie Omlets was the housing officer.
The weird thing is you haven't changed his name, have you?
And what was she called? Barbara Lighthouse. Barbara Lighthouse brought a clear jar of the cockroaches with her and poured them over Ronnie Omlets. Right? Of course, he was very frightened, didn't know what to do.
See, now it sounds absolutely ridiculous. It's, this guy's a genius. He did, like, I'm still saying it's true, but...
At which point Barbara Lighthouse said, I think I've made my point, to the housing officer.
Yeah.
This is what I live with. So the council agreed to rehouse. Next day, the Cockroach King.
What's he going to say, David?
I think it's true, but wow, with Bob Mortimer, especially with this one, I'm going in every direction because, I feel like he's deliberately throwing us off. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say true.
Bizarre that only Bob could make it up, so I think that's true.
That doesn't make sense. If you're saying only Bob could make it up, then he could have made it up.
No, only Bob can make it up like that.
Right.
So convincing.
Yeah. So we're in trouble, aren't we? Because you're saying that if anyone else had said it, it would definitely be true because they couldn't have invented it. The one person who's saying it is also coincidentally the only human who could also have invented
Convincing
it.
yes.
What a terrible set of circumstances. You think it's true? Do you think it's true?
Yes, let's say it's true.
We're going to go true.
OK. Now, Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth.
Oh, wow. It's weird, though, because, going into whether he's revealing whether it's true or false, I was like, I don't fucking know. I'm just guessing true at this point. But that's his... one of the best guests on the show, Bob Mortimer, because I have no idea. And most of the crazy stuff that he says ends up being true, man. But there was another thing I was going to say about this particular one. But it's escaping me. I'm just blown away how, he starts off where he's, not too sure about the details. Then you get a minute in, and he's very specific. And then you get towards the end, and it sounds like he's... mouthing off a cartoon that he just invented in his head. It's wild. And then almost not everyone, but most of the clips that I've seen of Bob Mortimer telling stuff like this, it turns out to be true. It's unbelievable. And Lee Mack, once again, with the amazing quick retorts. And David Mitchell, stellar as always. It's just I love doing What I Live to reactions. They're so awesome. And again, I'm jealous. I wish we had a show like that here. Although, you know, somehow we'd mess it up. There's so many shows like from Britain where American, you know, entertainment companies have tried to do British shows, and they always crash and burn, even if they make it to television. A lot of times they don't, but if they make it to television, they crash and burn because they don't do the exact same thing. They try to like make it their own. You know, you guys know, because I've actually gotten requests to where like some of the shows that I react to, they're like, you should try the American one and see how bad it is. And I'm like, I don't want to, because I know that, you know, the American entertainment companies have messed it up. Because they just see it and go like, you know, what's a show that where they, if you think of a show that Americans have taken from the Brits and have made it successful, maybe not necessarily good, but successful. Like, what is there? Like the American Office and like the American Shameless, I think. Which Shameless came first? It's the UK Shameless came first, isn't it? Anyway, those are the only two I can think of. And think of all the attempts to try to do other stuff that have failed, you know? It's like when we try to take a British show and turn it American, it's like a 2% success rate, which is awful. Just if you're gonna do, if any American entertainment executive is watching this, if you're gonna do Would I Lie to You, just do it in this style right here. And I think I've gotten comments before that said they tried to do Would I Lie to You, but in the States, but they focus too much on the winning aspect of it, you know, which is not that important. Which it's fun to guess if they're right or wrong, but yeah, without the banner and the humor that they have in this show, it's just not the same. Which is probably what happened. But anyway, thank you for listening 4 minutes after the reaction ended. I appreciate you if you got this far. And like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day today, Booms.